Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is introduce y'all to some tips and tricks on how to write a quality business plan. So the way the video is going to work is I'm going to kind of just run through real quick of my experiences, and then from there give you all 5 tips and tricks on how to write your own plan. All right, so let's go ahead and mosey on through this little PowerPoint presentation I've got concocted for y'all. And first and foremost is going to be experience. I am a professional writer. I am also a professional business plan writer. So if y'all want to avoid the trials and tribulations of writing your own business plan, please pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. Be absolutely delighted to assist. If you do want to go ahead and follow that path and write your own business plan, kudos and 2 thumbs up, more power to you. However, at least have some kind of a guide, some kind of a template, and you can get a guide or a template by purchasing one of my books on Amazon. I've written several books on business plan writing and also financial projections. So zip on over to Amazon, pick one up, and it should be a good guide for y'all to help you complete your business plan. And finally, a little bit of experience. I do have some experience. I am an adjunct professor and subject matter expert for both business and finance. If y'all need some help with some financial projections, pick up the phone, give me a call. Again, love to assist. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about some tips and tricks for writing your own business plan. First and foremost, company description. Tip number 1, when you do your company description section, a lot of entrepreneurs, what they're going to do is they're going to start talking about their company. They're going to start talking about the restaurant menu item or their theme, or if they're a real estate agent, they're going to start talking about the areas that they service, whether they're a listing agent or a selling agent, and they're just going to go right into talking about their company. And the challenge that I have with that is that a lot of investors, they want to see passion. They want to know why you want to start this business. Lenders do too. They want to know why. What's your passion? What's your drive? Are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it for the love of the business? So when you start off your business plan, don't go directly into your business itself. Talk about your passions. If you had an experience in the childhood where you spent summers in the kitchen with grandma and grandpa, cooking up all kinds of dishes that led to a 15 years in the restaurant industry, which accumulated into a business ownership. That story right there can be told in 2 to 3 paragraphs up front, short, succinct, and it shows a passion, a drive, and a love, and it also shows longevity. If your experience was something a little bit more different, like, for example, you went to buy your first home, you had a real estate agent that did not convey competence, or they did not give you the best service possible, well, that could be a driving reason as well. You had a poor experience buying your first home or your second home or your third home, and you want to make sure that someone else doesn't have that kind of experience, and that's driven you and motivated you to go get your real estate license to be a real estate agent for the last 5 years, and it's going to accumulate into a real estate brokerage shop and so on. But it shows a pattern, it shows a story, it shows a progression, and like I said, it shows a passion. Next, when you talk about your competitive advantages, make sure to identify, are you a niche competitor or you are a generalist? When you are a niche competitor, that may be an example of that would be if you're a gas station and the only thing you do is sell gas. That's it. You sell gasoline, you do it very, very well. If you are a real estate agent and you only list high dollar homes, well, that's going to be a niche as well. If you are a landscaper and the only thing you do is just work with properties that are commercial, then that's going to be your niche market. Make sure to identify your niche market, explain why you chose that niche market, and the competitive advantages aligned with a niche market. Usually your niche markets, you're going to be more of an expert at a certain set of products or services. As a generalist, this is going to be, let's say, for an example, a hairstylist or a hair salon that offers hair coloring, hair dyeing, hair cutting, nail services, eyelashes, waxing. It's your one-stop shop. So you're not an expert at one thing. You do everything well. You don't do it spectacular, but you do it very well, and it's convenience that you're now pushing or that you're now conveying. And when you are a generalist, you're more of a one-stop shop, and there's competitive advantages aligned with being a generalist as compared to a niche. So identify which type of a competitor are you going to be. Are you going to be a niche and you're going to be an expert, or are you going to be a generalist, a one-stop shop? Regardless of what it is, identify it and explain the benefits and the advantages of it. And it's going to convey that you understand the strategic positioning that you're going to take in the marketplace, and you're going to align your business plan accordingly. All right, tip number 2. For tip number 2 is industry research. Love the industry research. A lot of organizations, a lot of entrepreneurs, what they're going to do is they're going to immediately start talking about competitors. They're going to give us the good, the bad, and the indifferent about competitors in the area, the region, the nation, the world sometimes. You can get really crazy with just doing a competitor analysis. And when you're looking for your industry research, there's a certain structure that I like to use and that I try to get my clients to use if they're going to write their own business plan. And first, when you're doing your industry research, start with actually doing the industry research. Take a look at your industry on a national level. If you are going to be doing restaurants, then take a look at what the revenues are for the restaurant, the growth in the restaurant industry. Who are some new competitors that are entering the industry? Same thing for the hotel industry. Start on a national or a global level. Show that you are an expert in this industry, that you've done the research, you have the knowledge, and you've done the analysis on a national level. Then go ahead and do your competitor research in your area. And when you do your competitor research, don't be negative Nelly, tear them apart. What I recommend you do is identify the competitors who are going to be closest to you, and then explain what they are doing, their activities in their business that are aligned or not aligned with national trends. An example of this would be if your restaurant competitors are offering only to-go orders or something like that, and the national trend is that people want to sit down at the restaurants. Well, you can show a gap in need in your area, and that's going to justify your business. That's just one example of how you can go ahead and analyze a competitor, compare them to national trends, and show that they are not meeting those national trends. And when you start your business, you are going to be able to meet that proven need in the marketplace. All right, let's move on to tip number 3. For tip number 3 is advertising. When you do your advertising, what I recommend for most of my entrepreneurs, depending on their industry and their business and their structure and such, but you want to tackle the big 3. You want to do your social media, your website, and your word of mouth advertising. Some entrepreneurs, they do very, very well at the social media, and it really drives their business. And what they'll do is they'll neglect their website. For example, I just did some research on nail salons just the other day, and I've seen that their social media for a lot of the competitors in my area, they do an amazing job with social media, but their websites are just atrocious if they even had a website. So you don't want to neglect one area. You don't want to neglect one area for the benefit of, you don't want to neglect two of the areas in benefit of one. And what I mean by that is if you do social media advertising, don't just do social media advertising. Push your website advertising, push your word of mouth, push your internet advertising. Expand, make sure that you're covering a broad base. When your clients are going to be receiving and hearing your advertising message on different mediums, that's going to build brand recognition. So, and you want to be consistent. And just because maybe people aren't visiting your website as high as you want it to be, your website is still out there and you're still building brand recognition. So just because your advertising might not be bringing in the dollars you expect, it's also brand recognition. There is qualitative measures that are out there that you're not seeing. It might not be registering dollars, but they are hitting brand recognition. So make sure you touch on all 3 of them. You do your social media, you do your website, and push your word of mouth advertising. Do the big 3s. If you can do those 3 right, and you intertwine them with the same message or similar messages, it's going to build synergy, and it's going to help your advertising dollars. All right, tip number 4. I just lost my picture. All right, so tip number 4 is a funding request. when you're doing your funding request, I do my funding request in a specific manner. First thing, what I do is I'm going to go ahead and in the top line of the funding request, I'm going to put a specific dollar amount of how much money I'm looking for. So, for example, if I'm going to start a lawn care business, I'm going to need I'm going to need $100,000. So I will put in the first line. In starting this organization, I'm going to need $100,000 in debt or equity funding. That is a specific dollar amount. You do not want to put a range. When you put a range in your first line, that's going to show that you're wishy-washy and you really don't know how much money you need. Do you need 50 to 100,000? Well, do you need 50,000? Do you need 75,000? Do you need the $100,000? Who knows? You don't know. So how am I supposed to know if I'm going to be lending you the money? Don't be wishy-washy on that top line. Put a specific dollar amount. An example, like I said, if I'm going to start this, when I start this business, I'm going to need $100,000 in debt or equity financing. Next, what you're going to do is you're then going to break out your funding needs into categories. You might need to do a build out for an office that's going to cost you $25,000. You might need working capital, which is money to keep the lights on and pay your employees until you can start get money coming in. That's your working capital. You might need $25,000 for that. You might need $25,000 for computers, for your truck, and for your lawn equipment. And then for inventory, you might need another $25,000. So you've got, in this particular example, we've got 4 categories, $25,000 each. At the bottom, after you list your categories, you're going to put a grand total or a dollar amount. And again, it's going to be specific. For this example, it would be $100,000 at the bottom. And that dollar amount at the bottom should be identical to the top line dollar requested. All right, and tip number 5, financial projections. When you do your business plan, make sure to have financial projections included. And they don't need to be complicated, but they at least need to show that you're going to make a monthly profit and, hopefully for the next 12 months and then accumulate it into the next 5 years. When I do my financial projections, I start with just a very basic, straight up financial model, and then I expand upon it. For this example right here, I've got listed the sales items. So we've got sales item 1, 2, and 3. I then list the average prices for each sales item, $16, $14, $10. So let's go ahead and drill down for this example for sales item number 1. My average price for sales item number 1 is going to be $16. That is going to be my sales price but the cost to me is the variable cost, and that would be $8. So it cost me $8 to buy this widget. I'm selling the widget now for $16. That means once we subtract our variable cost from the price, that's going to give us a gross profit in this example, $8. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to estimate how many items of these widgets I'm going to sell on a daily basis. In this example right here, I expect to sell 40 widgets. I'm then going to multiply these 40 items by my gross profit of $8. That's going to give me a total gross profit for this item on a daily basis of $320. I will then follow the same process for each category of item that I plan to sell or service that I plan to provide. And then I'll add everything up. And in this example right here, total gross profit is going to be $650 a day. I am then going to multiply that gross total profit by the number of days in the month. I'm going to be working 30 days a month. I'm going to take that $650, multiply it by 30. It's going to give me a gross monthly profit of $19,500. I then need to go ahead and align my monthly fixed cost. So for example, I might have $750 loan that I'm going to have to pay. I'm going to have an inventory. I'm going to buy inventory, and every month I expect it to be about $750. Then my labor is going to be about $3,500. Space rental, got to pay for the roof, $2,500. Utilities, got to pay for the phone, the water, and what have you. Marketing, got to get people, we got to advertise, got to tell people about us, $2,500. Accounting, legal, insurance, $75. And the miscellaneous, the wonderful miscellaneous. There are going to be times where costs are going to come up, and you're not going to expect them. But you do have to be prepared for them. So use a miscellaneous. That's your catch-all. That's your rainy day funds. In this example, $500. Once you go ahead and identify your monthly fixed costs, total them up. In this example, $11,075. And then what we're going to do is we now need to figure out our monthly profits. To do that, we are going to go ahead and bring down our gross monthly profits, $19,500. We're going to put it right here. And then we're going to take our monthly cost, $11,075. We're going to put it right here. And to get our net profits, we're simply going to subtract our monthly cost from our monthly profits. And in this example, it's going to give us a net profit of $8,425. Now, the beautiful thing about this basic profit and loss statement, not only is it going to give you your profit and loss for the month, but once you have this model built, you can now change your sales price. You can change your variable cost. You can change the items sold. You can change the days of the month. You can change your fixed cost. When you make these changes, you're going to be able to see what happens to your net profits, and you're going to be able to say, yeah, can I live off of selling product number 1 at $16 with a variable cost of $8? If you can, great. If you want more of a profit, increase your price. If you want less of a profit and sell more, well, increase your price and then increase the number sold and see what happens to find the price point that's going to work for you. All right. So in summary, when you're writing your business plan, make sure to follow a proven format. You may want to go ahead and go to the SBA website. They do have some really good templates over there. Just keep in mind that the templates that they're going to provide you are general templates. Those are templates that you can use for a doctor's office. You can use it for a restaurant. You can use it for manufacturing. You can also use it for a lawn care company. However, the specific information within each one of those, that template's good for all of those. The only problem is you may need a specific aspect of that template for a restaurant, but you may not need a specific aspect of that template for a manufacturing company. And you have to be able to figure out which components you need and which components you don't need. And that's the tricky part. It's better than to start with a blank Word document. You're just looking at the white screen, and you're continuing to look at the white screen for the next 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, 5 weeks, and you're not getting anywhere. So a template's better than nothing. You can go ahead and figure that out. If you do want some kind of a template customized to your industry, pick up the phone, give me a call. Love to help you with that. Next is going to be keep the star of the show as the business. You are starting the business, you're growing your business, you're going to expand your business. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about your clients. Let's talk about your target markets. Let's talk about your profits, your revenues, your costs. Let's talk about your business models and the number of employees. Let's talk about your industry and your competitors. Let's talk about all that stuff. But sometimes when I work with entrepreneurs, they want to make the star of the show themselves, and they are the business, and it's all about them, and it's not. Make sure to talk about your business. Yes, you will have a section, dedicated to you in the owner information section, but don't make the whole business about you. Keep the star of the show as the business. And finally, if you need some help with your business plan, financial projections, and so on, please do not hesitate to pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. Be absolutely delighted to assist. And if y'all want a little bit more information about me, visit my website at qualitybusinessplan.com. I am Paul Borosky, MBA, and I would be delighted to help you with whatever your business needs are. So as always, have a fantastic day. If you liked it, give me a 2 thumbs up on YouTube, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.